the Atreyu like the arm.
Hello and welcome back to Stammer with me, John. So today I'm going to be looking over another pair of shoes that I bought. I wanted to try these for a long time. They've been out now for probably about 2 years, but I do like to try shoes that I've not owned before, and if I can get myself a bargain, then even the better. So I picked these up from the Nike outlet in the O2. So we went to see a comedian yesterday, and as you do, I went into a shop. What did I get? I went into the Nike outlet, and obviously they had all the kind of wind flows and all those kind of shoes that, in my opinion, are overpriced for what they are. They don't necessarily sell. They sell tons of them, but they also have a load in stock. Now, I saw these and they were £50. Now, the only interesting point to these shoes, which I don't know how men out there feel about that, is these are a woman's size 9, so they're a size 9, and they were £50. So I'm never one to say no to a bargain, and the colours don't look too bad. Probably I live in a house full of girls, so I'm not really fussed about it all, to be honest with you. So I picked up the Nature Nike Pegasus for £49. Now, yeah, okay, they are a bit on the pink side, but as I say, I'm not overly bothered by the colours necessarily. As long as they're not bright pink, I'm not overly fussed. So I did pick these up. I've been wanting to pick these up on the basis that I have the Pegasus Turbo 2s. Wasn't really into the running scene at the time when the Pegasus Turbo came out, so these are probably one of the first priciest shoes that I owned. I think I paid full price for these, but £150. That was 3 years ago now. So even just giving them a comparison side by side, they're definitely a different shoe. So I'm not quite sure what they were doing with this shoe with the Peg. The Nature, the version of the shoe, I do know a little bit about the shoe. Of course, it's been out for a little while, but I purposely sort of forgot and haven't gone back over. So I don't necessarily know what the stack height in the shoe is. It looks to be around 20 something, 20, 24, 25, maybe a little bit higher than that. So let's go over the shoe and then maybe do a little comparison to the Peg Turbo 2. So Pegasus, the turbos are originally a kind of slimmed down version, a race version of Pegasus line. I mean, if you know anything about the Pegasus, this is sort of nothing like a Pegasus really. In fact, it's got a Sumex foam. Don't be fooled, it's not full of Sumex foam. There is I think there's a Cushlon layer there, but there is this Sumex foam, and hence that's why at the time they were so expensive, because this was a new foam out. So in Pegasus, the Nature, the next thing that they did, this is crushed up Sumex foam. So this is Sumex at the core here, all crushed up and bits and bobs in there. So I don't know if this is Sumex foam. This foam here actually does feel like Sumex foam, so I actually do think this probably is. This is obviously just a whole piece of it. It could be something else, but when I do the video on the stats and stuff, I'll put all that up. First impressions wise, I actually think it looks alright. Again, colour's not necessarily one that I think I'd choose, obviously, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm for 50 quid. Who am I to complain? So £50, this actually looks like a really nice shoe. Construction wise, it feels like a good sturdy shoe. This definitely is not a race shoe. In hand, it feels pretty good. So I'd probably already categorise this shoe as a sort of everyday shoe. I'll only be able to tell when I get in it and see what the Sumex foam does in the shoe, on the basis that it's all bits and pieces of it. So I don't know if you're still going to get that rebound feeling, how soft it is in the shoe. So I'll give that a go. The outsole looks pretty good actually. The outsole looks pretty sturdy. So I don't know if this is Sumex foam here. I'm going to hazard a guess. It feels like it is here, but not necessarily here. So I wonder if this is a version of Sumex foam in here. The lugs in here are the kind of lugs that you find on a lot of their other shoes as well in the Vomero 16. So this outsole reminds me of the Vomero 16. The less said about that shoe, the better. I don't think there's any pods in here. So this is just a foam Zumex shoe in hand. It does feel pretty sturdy. So the upper on this shoe, take this out. So is it a gusseted tongue? It's not a gusseted tongue. So it's like a booty construction. There's this weird, like it's attached sort of here. So it looks like there's this one piece of material here, and in hand it feels pretty thick. I'm not gonna lie. This is all recycled, so I think this upper is recycled. It says it's made with at least 50% recycled content. So I don't know I don't know how much of this is recycled, but it says at least 50%. So there you go. So this upper feels like a really thick upper. It says it's a knitted upper. It says it on there. It's fly knit. I don't think it's the kind of fly knit in the kind of more race type shoes. It does feel very plush, I have to say. The heel counter is really padded. There's a load of padding along the whole of the heel, so there's at the back and the side there. So it probably feels like you're going to get a really locked in feel with the shoe. I'm not sure about the tongues. I'm hoping that it's kind of going to be like a boot feel on the upper, and it will lock you into the shoe. The profile of the shoe is actually, this is a little bit older now, so this is kind of before all the max stacked shoes. I've just got the Hoka Skyward X, which is an absolute beast of a shoe. It's pretty huge. I don't even think on video you get it doesn't convey how thick that is, and this is definitely not like that at all. The only similarities I think between the two are profile of the shoe, just in terms of it's kind of, they're going for a similar sort of vibe on the shoe. The design of the upper is reminiscent of the Turbo number 1. And you have that stripe, and you have the stripe down there, and you've got the stripe down there here, and it's kind of reminiscent, really. I mean, obviously the Next Nature is definitely kind of not a streamlined race shoe. It's definitely not that, but it does bear resemblance a little bit now that they're side by side. See, this is a streamlined race. This is more of a race flat shoe now, whereas I think this is a sort of everyday shoe for the everyday miles. And £50, I generally think you can't go wrong with this shoe at £50, because even if the colour's not necessarily you'll think it does, this is a really well put together shoe. It's you're getting a lot here for £50. It's a well made shoe. It does, this is a really thick upper, probably a bit too thick for the summer, but as with everything that I do, I'll give it a go and let you know how I feel. So I'll take this out at some point and do some sort of, I want to do a long run in the shoe. So it's probably like, that 8 to 10 mile mark. Might even be a bit too long for the shoe, but yeah, I'm glad I managed to pick it up. £50. Let me know what you think of the shoe. If you own it, what you think, what you use the shoe for. That would be pretty cool.